So I believe most of us on self-improvement believe we are ambitious men. We like to see ourselves as these ambitious conquerors who are going to conquer the world and achieve all of our goals. But that's the problem, is we think we're ambitious. But if we took an audit of our lives and we look day to day how we acted, are we actually as ambitious as we think? Are you sleeping in the mornings? Are you going on the hub? Are you overindulging on YouTube? Are you not going outside? Are you not meditating? Are you skipping workouts? See, we like to think of ourselves as these ambitious people, but the bad thing about having this pride and this belief that you're super ambitious is it can make you have a blind spot to your actual flaws, to where you're not being ambitious, where it can delude you into believing day to day you're making huge progress and you're doing good. But in reality, bro, you're not actually ambitious. You're just a talker. You're a sayer. You're not a doer. And I'll put my hand up, like I've fallen into this trap many times on my self-improvement journey. You know, recently I've been waking up later than I wanted to. How can I say I'm an ambitious man who wants to achieve his goals when I can't even have the discipline to get out of bed on time? And so what I had to do is do an audit of my life and realize, hey Jacob, like you're not who you think you are. You have a lot of improvement to do. You have a YouTube addiction. You know, even though I make content and I work on my business, I spend like 8 hours a day on my phone, watching YouTube videos, scrolling on Instagram. Oh, but I can't delete Instagram because of my business. You can delete it, bro. You don't need to be on your personal one. Oh, I need to go on YouTube because Hamza. Come on, bro. You don't need to go on it, bro. You can delete it. And I think replacing those bad habits with a new habit is the most effective way. See, I started reading a book called The Morning Miracle, which inspired me to get on a morning routine and start changing my life and really putting personal development as a priority. Because if we want to have this 10 out of 10 ambitious life that we think we're going to build, we have to actually act like it. We can't sacrifice personal development for more work, more YouTube, more... You know, I think one of the things I realized yesterday was on self-improvement, we tend to believe if you're building a business, like the work is enough. Like you do a bit of your Shopify business, you do a bit of your agency, you upload a YouTube video, that's enough. And then you go off and then you're just on YouTube. Outside of your work, you're not being disciplined outside of it, if that makes sense. You're not doing personal development, you're not meditating when you should, you're not gratitude journaling. And all these small L's you take of when you should have done something but you don't do it, just add up. They add up and they eat you from the inside out. There's a Conor McGregor video that comes to mind. I'll put it up now.
Time to train at that time. Set a time to go to sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. That's what I was talking about with Ariel. I knew in my head I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't eat this. I ate that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrate my mental strength.
Just little kind of defeats.
Exactly, little defeats instead of wins. And it just culminates into, and you just don't want to be here. So I'm just figuring myself out like I've never figured myself out before.
It's all those small losses we take when we don't stick to our word, when we don't stick to the self-development that we said we was going to do, that eats us up. And we still think we're ambitious because we've got these big goals in business. But we think we're ambitious, but we're not acting ambitiously. If we want to be ambitious, we have to work on our business, but you also have to meditate. You also have to gratitude journal. You have to go outside. You have to get off your phone. You need to seek God. You need to do what you need to do to get away from the deadly sins of lust. You know, you have to do all these things to get away from them if you want to be an actual ambitious man. If you want to see yourself as an ambitious man, act it first. Because you don't want to delude yourself and believe you're some ambitious, great guy. But really, you have so many flaws that you're not addressing. And those L's and those flaws will add up and they will make your life miserable. Because a lot of us, we're not at rock bottom. We're uncomfortable with our situation, but we're not like at a point where the seat's on fire and we're like, oh, I need to get up. We're comfortable in the pain. A lot of us are. You know, I'll admit I am. You know, sometimes I do find myself being comfortable in the pain enough not to make a change. But it's like, you need to make the change now before you hit rock bottom. No, you don't want to hit rock bottom, bro. And I know, I used to say this, I was like, oh, you know, if I hit rock bottom, at least it would make me change. It's like, what bad mindset that is. You know, you should be uncomfortable now and realize if I don't change, it's just a downward spiral to misery. And it's like, that's so unfair to yourself, to your soul, to cause all this pain when you could have just done the work. You could have just done the personal development instead of making your future self pay for your sins. Because we all have so much potential, and it's like, would you want to be 30 years old, 40 years old, looking back at your 20s being like, damn, I could have done that. I could have done that. You look at the YouTubers at the time when you was 25 watching them and you're like, 5 years later, you're seeing them on their yacht, seeing them on their Lambo, they've got family, and you're like, oh, I could have done that, man. Now you're in some dead-end job. That's the worst pain you can feel. So be honest with yourself, bro. You may think you're ambitious, but are you acting ambitiously? Do an audit of your life. Realize where your flaws are, realize where your sins are, and realize where your bad habits are, and fix them now. Because there's no point quitting porn tomorrow. Quit porn now. Oh, I'll do it next week. No, do it now, because next week will turn into next month and you're not committing to the decision. So begin acting how you think you are. If you think you're ambitious, start acting ambitiously. There's no reason you should be on your phone 6 hours, 8 hours a day. There's no reason you should be going on the hub. There's no reason you should be sinning. You should be dedicated to self-development and personal development, especially in your youth, because when you get to that 30, 40 years old, you don't be looking back thinking, damn, I wasted my time. So start acting ambitiously and stop speaking ambitiously. Start doing the hard work and stop saying you're doing the hard work. And just commit to self-development and stop going back to your old ways.